Welcome back to another video. Now let's jump straight into this one. Now we've been through a fair few stereos in our T5 camper. Some have held up, others not so much. This time we're giving the ATOTO X10 a go. It's packed with various features like wireless CarPlay, Android Auto, and even a built-in AI assistant. Sounds impressive, but does it actually deliver? Well, in this video, we're going to get to unboxing it, installing it, and seeing how it performs. Now, this one is over to Brandon.
So when we converted our van, we bought a cheap eBay special double din head unit. It was about £35 and we got about £35 worth of use on it. Worked faultlessly for the first 2 months and then CarPlay failed. We then replaced it with this Sony head unit. This worked faultlessly for around 8 months and then CarPlay failed. So the folks at ATOTO have sent us the X10 version of their double din head unit for us to install and try out. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So we'll take a start by seeing what we've got in the box. So we have the manual. Very nicely packaged. We have an accessory box, we'll come back to that in a minute. And then we have the head unit. Here we have the head unit with all the plugins and accessory points on the back. So in the accessory box we have warranty, some cables, some mounting brackets, some screen protectors, it's always nice, and then a couple of fascia surrounds. Let's have a look what's in the cable box. Okay, so here we have some wiring looms, various depending on which car you have, and these are all very nicely labelled up with what they control. Like amplifier turn on, rear camera feed, and some other bits like that. Parking brake. Okay, what else? Some more cables and adapters, and then we have the GPS and I think it said DAB antenna. GPS and 4G antenna. Okay, so that's everything that's included. Next step is to get it installed. So let's move along here. Okay, so first step, we're going to get this head unit removed. So I'm just going to use a trim tool to pry off the fascia. There we go. Put it up there. And then a couple of stereo keys to just release the head unit. Oh no, this needs 4. Not 4. Okay, so this head unit needs 4 stereo keys and I've got 3. So you're about to watch me struggle for 10 minutes. Oh, that was extremely easy. Okay, so on the back we've got what have we got? Aerial feed. What's that one? I think that's a microphone. The reversing camera, and then the plug. So that's that, simple as that, all removed. So all we need to do now is remove our wiring loom for the old stereo, and they just unclip just like that. And then we have a wire feed here for the reversing camera, so we just need to cut that and then we'll reattach it to the new stereo. Will it cut? No, just pull it. There we go. So that should be all that done. And then we just grab the relevant, what do you call it, loom. And then we're just going to plug that in. So I'm just going to lost my knife. There it is. I lose my tools all the time. Go. So here we have steering wheel, that's not relevant. We're looking for like a reversing camera one. Amplifier, steering wheel, rear camera, there we go. So all we need to do here is take that cap off, strip these cables, and then I'll show you my absolute new favourite way of joining cables, and that are these little heated waterproof solder connectors. So what you do is you put the cable in, get both cables into that middle band, and then hit it all with a heat gun. The two red points shrink and create a waterproof seal, and that middle one is solder, so that melts and then creates a soldered connection. I found these really good, and kind of nothing's really compared to them, so that's what I use on kind of everything now. Yes, I'll go get that installed. That's it, simple as that. So there we have a perfectly soldered joint. So now it should just be a case of grabbing those existing points, connecting them into the matching connectors, and then plug in the relevant points into the stereo. So we have a R cam, which will be reversing camera. So that's that one. In fact, actually, one thing I've just noticed. So I've just noticed that this double DIN unit was actually built on a single DIN cage. So you can see the size of the units is much, much different. But that means I've got, I don't know if you can see that, this middle support bar in the cage. There we go. So all I need to do to this cage to convert it into a double DIN is just drill these two holes out on each side. So I'm going to go do that now, and I'll be back shortly. So I've just drilled out those two little folds on each side, and now that should just pop out. So we're now in the position to refit this cage with all the wiring. So just pass all that back through there. And then just fold all the tabs that we bent out back in, just to hold the cage in. So now we're back to the step of plugging everything in here. So we have, what do we have? We have the aerial, which goes there. The reversing camera, right, the reversing camera obviously goes into our cam. We have a microphone which is up here, so it just goes into mic, and then the main loom which just plugs in there. So that should be everything done. So what we'll do is we'll just position that in there generally and just turn it on. So what we're going to do now is just go check everything's working before we go ahead and put everything back together. That's really nice. It's really quick as well. Whoa. That's like an iPad. My God. Okay, so we've just been going through all the settings, getting everything up to date. We had to connect it to the Wi-Fi, update it, and now it's all seems to be working. CarPlay. There we go, all works. Look at that. Woohoo! That's great, isn't it? So, oh, actually, one thing we haven't tested is the reversing camera. So let's just check that works. There we go. It's pretty good, though, isn't it? One thing I will say is, obviously, I just put it in reverse. That screen is like crystal clear. But that's probably a very poor camera, and it's probably very dirty because the van's not been washed for like 6 months. So yeah, absolutely well over the moon that works and everything. We've even got YouTube.
Our old tired Defender seats that have definitely seen better days. We'll be
How cool is that?
from the ground up and giving them a fresh new look.
What do you reckon?
It
It's great, isn't it?
All
Right.
right. And let's dive in.
Look at that.
Brilliant, isn't it?
So all that's left to do now is get it completely fitted back, fit the fascia, and then we're all good to go. Oh, and one thing I would also like to say is CarPlay on this is wireless. So on the Sony we had to have that plugged in, so I had like that cable from there and then plugged into my phone, and that's half of why I think it ended up failing. So the fact this is wireless makes it a lot cleaner and a lot easier to kind of deal with, which is great news. So yeah, let's turn that off, get it all fitted, and then we're all good to go. So that's us completely all installed. Incredibly easy to install, incredibly easy to set up. It feels and looks like a fantastic piece of gear. I guess only time will see at this point, but thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.